Hello, everyone. Welcome to our episode. Today we are talking Transformers, robots in disguise. Wah, 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 wah. That's my Transformer sound.
That's something.
It's really good. All right, we're talking Transformers 1, the new animated feature. It's not necessarily a children's movie, it's for everyone, right?
Yes. Are we playing the trailer?
I'm going to play the trailer.
Oh, that's fine. She was changing the format a little bit, but she'd already started talking about the form thing.
Well, I was
so
just telling people.
that's fine.
Because in case you haven't seen it, you need to go see it.
Yeah.
All right, let's play the trailer and hope it works.
For thousands of years, we have been at war. But before, we were enemies. We were like brothers. You ready?
Always ready. Let's punch in. Hey, watch where you're going.
What did you say?
It's not like he can transform.
Hey, Darkwing!
Don't.
My finger can transform. Guess which one?
Allow me.
I appreciate you having my back.
No matter what.
What is that?
Sending location coordinates.
We're under attack! It's an SOS message from the surface.
Fantastic.
It's time to show them we are more than meets the eye.
A cave with teeth. Nothing scary about that. Holy Primus.
I see strength in you. Take these and access your full potential.
We can transform now!
How do we use these things?
Come on!
How you choose to use this power is up to you.
We roll out.
What?
Louder.
Transform and roll out!
I want to help build a better world.
Like you said, we can be so much more.
Maybe it's just me, but he's different.
Yeah, no, I picked up on that.
I picked up on that too.
What happened to my best friend?
Burn it down! All of it!
We have to stop him.
We could have built the future together.
I don't think so.
Decepticons! Rise up! Incoming!
Come on! Awesome! That's what I'm talking about.
Now is the time for us to stand up. Together. As one.
Look, that's Starscream, and your Shockwave and Soundwave.
Enough.
Gosh, raise your hand if Wave is in your name. There's a lot of Wave.
That's hilarious. So we got to go to a screening. Look at our cute picture, baby.
Oh yeah.
I wore my Transformer shirt. See, it says the robots in disguise.
No, I have a Muay Thai dinosaur shirt.
Nice.
It's
Okay.
loaded as hell.
Anyways, so let's talk about Transformers 1. Why is it 1?
Well, I only can assume because it's the beginning.
It is the beginning.
I
It's
know
an
there were-
origin story, kind of.
Sort of, yeah. So throughout the early days of Transformers and Generation 1, we had learned who Optimus Prime was, and they were friends, but we never really seen that full origin. I'm glad the trailer that you played is not the verse trailer, because some of the early promotion of this movie, I think, misrepresented what the movie was. It kind of came off a little silly and goofy and kind of more kiddie type film, and it's not. It's good for the whole family.
Yeah,
It is still
family
PG, but it takes the source material seriously, and I think getting to spend the entire time on Cybertron and not a single human in sight for the first time
You
ever,
were happy about that.
it was so good. But I honestly think this is the best Transformers movie they have made to date. Like it's up there with the original one from the 80s.
Like, out of all of these movies,
Yeah, all the other, well, so I don't know what that
I don't know, Bumblebee, Transformers.
I know the regular
other
movies. I don't know what that
Transformers.
other Beast Within thing is.
I
but
don't know. But what about the cartoon, the animated movie?
The animated movie is iconic.
Bong Weep Ground Whip Ninny Bong.
But
It's the
I actually,
universal
I think this one holds its own up against that one in a different way.
Wow.
The original one is iconic. It's the original. It did a lot of things that you didn't really expect. It elevated the franchise, and those fans at the time, there's something different. You know, when we were getting to see our cartoons come to the big screen, you got to see Ultra Magnus cuss and the death of Optimus Prime and all these things that were emotional, heartbreaking things. This one is taking us in a different place. Like I said, we're spending all our time on Cybertron. We're getting some origin stories, and it's really kind of this dark tragedy, very Shakespearean.
It is.
Watching these two friends and how they become enemies and why he's so hateful.
Yeah. And it makes sense. It all makes sense. And everybody's point of view is valid. I think that's the other thing that I appreciate. It's not like this is just a straight up bad guy, good guy kind of thing. My son's over there messed up, but that's okay. You know, like everybody's viewpoint is valid and what happened and the reason why. It all makes sense. And you can understand why the one person chose this and the other person chose that. It makes sense. And I didn't know that that's where we were going until later on. I was like, oh, okay. Because I don't know anything about Transformers or who they are and what their
Where
names
did you think
are.
it was going? You just disconnected something or did
Oh,
something.
no. There it goes.
Anyway, where did you think it was going?
I thought we were going to learn about how Optimus Prime became Optimus Prime.
We did.
Okay, but I didn't know all the other people were going to be there. or how they're connected.
On Cybertron?
Yeah, or
They're
how they
all
were
there?
going to become there. Like, how did I know that the other guy, the bad guy, wasn't there the whole time? I don't know. I don't know.
I will say,
has there ever been any other origin stories of Transformers?
Now
Tell
look,
us?
I can honestly tell you, only thing I ever watched was the original series, and then there's a Netflix series that was on a couple of years ago that's fantastic. That did like 3 seasons, and each season changed name, which was excellent. I didn't watch a lot of the other ones, so if they did any of that, I don't know. I don't know of any time they really delved into, the before Megatron, before Optimus Prime element.
Yeah.
I'm sure there were stories where they might have flashbacks and did something. Though all the different iterations of the series and stuff, I don't know. But I will say that I felt like this one is produced by Michael Bay and Steven Spielberg, so it's technically could still technically be canon for the live action movies.
Could
as
lead us
animated
to
prequels without needing to be part of those at all.
Shia or to Marky Mark.
Excuse me. Yes.
Mm.
But I like that this one is kind of its own story. You don't need to see those other ones. It's going in the direction where we know where they're already at by the time you see those films, so you can still make it part of that ongoing world if you'd like, or this can be its own separate entity.
Yeah, and I really liked this movie.
I did too.
It was a lot of fun, actually, and it was heartfelt. It was emotional. There's some real funny moments. There's some serious moments.
One of my
just like,
biggest concerns was how they were going to deal with the suddenly available trend, because to my knowledge, again, with my limited knowledge, and I never read a ton of the comics, I read some of the newer stuff now, but I never read anything in Regation about how they couldn't, some of them can't transform and some of them couldn't. And so when I saw the trailers for this, it almost felt more like Power Ranger-esque, where like, oh, now you're able to transform, we've made you superheroes. And I'm like, I thought everybody on Cybertron could transform. And so there's an interesting element to the story that explains that. It makes it make sense and makes it a bigger deal of why some rise up and some are fighting back. And there's way more appearances by other iconic Transformer characters that some of them are just cameos or they just may be standing in the background, but I didn't expect to see all of them so soon. I thought it was going to be more of like knowing that they originally were planning a trilogy. I don't know if this is going to do well enough to keep a trilogy going. I figured we'd start meeting some of the other ones during revolutions or battles or whatever over time. I don't know why there's this ongoing thing we need to force Bumblebee down everybody's throat every single time. He was a main player in the original series connected to Spike, but I just never got it. I was never a fan of his, but I do like his version of the character and how they interacted with him this time around. And I like that as annoying as the Bad Acidtron joke gets, I love that they stuck with it. They
Yeah.
just say like we're going all in. We know he's annoying, and we're going to keep doing it because he is annoying with it.
Yeah. So there you go. I don't know anything about any of these things. I still want to understand how they turn into cars that we know on planet Earth when they're on a separate planet.
Well, that's been explained. They show that in the live action
Oh, what
movies where they
happened?
scan the cars and then they
I know, but if they've never been to our planet,
scan the cars on the planet.
they've never been to our planet. They're on their planet.
They're not turning into cars like on our planet. They're turning into vehicles.
He turned into an 18-wheeler.
He turned into that truck, but that is not a truck that looks like our planet.
Okay.
It's its own thing. But if they scan it
I
and look like,
understand. They look like
Yeah.
ours.
they just form into different things.
Okay. Well, I wanted them to transform into a helicopter. I don't know.
There are some of
there are
those.
some helicopters.
There's triple changers. There's Insecticons. There's Dinobots. There's Constructicons.
Hey, don't forget about Transmorphers.
That all turn it into that all turn into different stuff.
I know. That's fine. Because in the other one, we had the animal ones. The
Yes.
other movie,
Yes.
which I liked too. Anyways, Transformers 1 is in theaters now. It was a really good movie.
It is.
We had
It's
a
really good.
fun time. The screening was good. Everyone was nice.
They were cheering and
Yeah, and the kids were actually paying attention, which was
I
good.
think I will say I was a little concerned with the voice work.
Yes.
I was bummed that we weren't getting Peter Cullen and I just went blank on the other guy's name that does Megatron. But I will say that I thought Chris Hemsworth and Brian Tyree Henry both did a great job. Hemsworth changed his voice enough to be believable as Optimus Prime without trying to mimic Peter Cullen, and being the early version. You know,
Young
and Tyree
version.
Henry was better. You know, not better, but he kind of had that vibe of Frank Welker, I believe is his name.
Yes, Frank
at the,
Welker.
close to the end of it. So their voices evolved with the movie.
Yes, which I did appreciate.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I wonder what they're going to do when he finally becomes. Oh, spoiler alert. This is about Optimus Prime.
It's actually, and that was the other thing. I was afraid that they were going to focus so much on Optimus Prime,
Mhm.
which is what they always do.
Yes.
Because Optimus Prime.
That's
is
what I thought I was
awesome.
getting.
But
was
it's a
more.
focus on both of them.
Yes.
You know, even though Prime seems to be kind of front and center, it's really Prime and Megatron and their journeys to where they become.
Who they are.
And I will say that Keegan-Michael Key as Bumblebee's character is fantastic.
He's fun.
But he also explains why somebody might have broken his voice thing
Yeah.
because he's
It's
crazy.
too much.
There's even an Aaron joke that blink and you'll miss it that was really funny. I will say the only thing that threw me off a little bit and had nothing to do with the movie was Alita, whereas the pink robot lady here, because I was telling her like I literally just read a new issue of Transformers where she betrayed them, and I'm like, that's who's in this movie. And all I'm thinking is like that bitch, you know.
Well, that's not for years and years.
But she wasn't a bad guy betrayal in the comics. She's trying to get them back to Cybertron. There was a whole thing. Anyway,
Yeah. There you go.
but that was Scarlett Johansson, in case you didn't
I
know.
understood that.
So-
That I heard. I could
So
tell.
it's really good, and there's some great twists and turns, and the visuals is insane.
It is really well done.
Was
I
it too
really
much
like-
for you at some point? Because I know sometimes you get out the chaos, you don't like that.
No, it was okay. And I liked the bright color. I was like a kid.
It's
with
very
watching the
vibrant
colors.
and bright, and even and I like their color palettes because when they go into one area, it is dingy and dark when it's like the poor area. And you get up here and it's very flashy, like actual.
Yes, in the
kingdoms.
city. Yeah.
But then their
Pretty
color
dark.
schemes kind of clash with some places they're at,
Mhm.
but also enhance other things.
Mhm. It was really good. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I
you-
know nothing about Transformers.
And you get you do now.
Yeah. Bomb, weep, ninny bomb.
Don't say it fast. You mess it up every time.
Bomb, weep, grana, weep, ninny bong. There we go.
Jesus Christ, I'm in love with this.
And then I
video.
want to do this.
Anyway,
Live long and
just
prosper.
stop with the no nanu.
All right.
Anyway, Transformers 1 is fantastic. It's
It is
a great
really,
flick.
really good.
I think hardcore Transformers fans will like it, even if it's a little change in some of the history that you may know that maybe came out of the comics or books or the shows that I don't know about. But I think it is again. I will stand on my ground that I think this is the best Transformers movie they put out to date.
Wow. Okay. I
Sorry.
like the one with Mark Wahlberg.
I love those movies. I mean, I know a lot of people have
I
issues
actually
with them.
like that last one with the animals.
It was great. I know
I
people
liked
have issues with them, but and I do on some level as a hardcore
I get
fan.
it.
I have my issues, but I love their existence and I love what they're doing in the movies separate. Let's say I treat Marvel and DC anything. I treat the movies as a separate entity than my comic
Mm-hmm.
or the animated series or the animated features or whatever. They're Elseworlds as far as I'm concerned. They're a whole different storyline. They can do whatever they want, and I just let it happen.
When you were little, did you have the little Transformer cars?
I had only 2. I always wanted Optimus Prime. Of course, I never got him. One of my friends had it, and his trailer actually opened up. It was like a base.
Oh, that's cool.
So, and I think there was only one in the time in the show years later they finally started using the truck as base. Because in the cartoon, he would drive along when he transformed. He would shoot up, and the trailer just kind of disappeared. And then he was Optimus Prime. It's like, yeah, it's like, why is it?
Why'd you leave your trailer behind?
And then it would open up as like a laboratory or whatever.
Oh.
But no, the only one that I ever remember really having, I had Megatron's gun. He turned into an actual toy pistol.
Ah.
Because that was the other thing. Like, this makes more sense. He turns into like a tank.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought it was stupid, even as a kid, when he turned into the gun. Like, even in the movies, he didn't ever turn into like big, like a gun or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But he would turn into a gun and shrink down to the size of so that Optimus Prime could hold the gun. So he had shrinking abilities as well as growing abilities. When he became Galvatron, he became more of a cannon like this kind of thing. It made so much more sense. But it was always cool to watch him. He would jump and flip in the air, and then he'd turn into a pistol, and Starscream would catch him, and they start blasting people.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
But no, I had a triple changer. I do not remember the name of it, but it was a green helicopter that also turned into this futuristic-looking car. So triple changers were Transformers that could turn into 2 different vehicles and a robot.
And a person. Okay.
You just had to return them.
Yeah.
Those toys were complicated as hell.
Well, yeah.
Like, we would have them.
Because I think my brother had one. But it's weird because then it's like their wheel was back here when they were walking, but they had a wheel in the back. I don't know. I didn't even understand what was happening.
If you didn't figure out how to do it, or an arm would pop off or something and you couldn't fold it, it was almost like doing a Rubik's Cube, but you had to do certain things first for something else to fit.
Yeah.
Or to transition, and sometimes you had to twist the entire body to face it the other direction, and you're just like, by the time I transformed this thing, it's 15 minutes later and all my friends went home. So it was like, how about I'm just a helicopter today?
Yeah.
Or a transformer on the way there.
Yeah, you're just going to stay that way. Anyway,
yeah, this movie's fantastic. I love it.
Check it out. All right, babe. Tell me what's coming out because next week we'll have more shows. Don't worry, we have more shows tomorrow. We have more things coming out.
For those that don't know already, we're only focusing on 1 movie shows at a time now.
Trying to keep
just
it
for our
simple.
own time, keep it smaller, shorter. As far as coming out this week, there's some 4Ks and stuff coming out. Friday the 13th is getting a 4K release of the original. Is it the original? What does that look like too? We're gonna say Friday the 13th. And that box cover is a mixture of a couple different ones, so it's weird. Bringing Out the Dead, the Nicolas Cage movie, is getting the 4K release. Doomsday is getting the 4K release. The Chronicles of Riddick is getting a limited edition. Looks like the 60th anniversary Bewitched, the complete series, is coming out. And that looks like the only really big stuff this week.
Well, coming out.
Oh, wait, I just lied to you. We're on the 24th this week.
Yeah, yes.
I read the whole different. We didn't do a regular show last week, so I was reading the
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get
So
back
that
to
stuff is all already out.
So go find it.
This week is Long Legs is coming out to Blu-ray and DVD, which is a fantastic
Got
movie.
that.
A little creepy. Friends, the complete
The 30th
series.
It's the 30th anniversary, I think, or something.
Of what?
Of Friends.
Well, this is just Friends, the complete series
Oh,
release.
okay.
It's a 4K release. Show I've never watched. I've tried. I never could get through it. Mad Max Film Collection is coming out. Body Double's getting a 4K release with Melanie Griffith, which I used to love. I'm gonna rewatch and see if it's actually a good movie or if I just liked it because she showed her tatas.
Oh, goodness.
Village of the Damned is getting a 4K release. That's pretty much it seems.
Well, coming out this coming week at the theater, they have just released the new documentary Superman, the Christopher Reeve story. If it is near you, I would recommend checking it out. We're going to try to check it out sometime in the next week. Coming to Video Demand and Digital on Monday, September 23rd, a movie called The Island. I don't know, I don't even know who this is. Something Matt Dillon, huh? Psychological thriller.
It's the one with Ewan McGregor.
This is a different one.
No, I'm kidding.
It's a psychological thriller, makes you question how well you really know someone. Here we go. On a remote Greek island, this is already just problems. I already know this. A young man joins a restaurant, and there's a new waitress. She's a femme fatale, and instead falls for the manager, but this guy likes her. Seasons pass, seasons go, but sexual tensions rise. So we'll see what happens. It says something disturbing, dark, and mysterious begins to take place. Week?
Oh wow.
Yeah, I knew you'd be excited.
I know
Coming out
about it.
Tuesday, September 24th on Video Demand and Digital. Kill 'Em All 2. This takes place after Kill 'Em All Part 1, 7 years later. Jean-Claude Van Damme is back. A retired spy and his long-lost daughter, Vanessa, team up, and we'll see what happens. It says bullets will fly. Did we see Kill 'Em All
I have.
Part 1? Did
have it
I?
over there. I doubt it.
Oh, well,
You don't
I need
usually
to,
watch
I need
them
to
like
watch that. Coming out also Video Demand Digital this next week, something called Winter Island. A young girl's body's found dead in an island, and her brother has visions of an evil presence around their family. Also coming out, Paradox Effect, and estranged from his daughter because of past drug abuse. Karina is taking steps to be the mother they need to be, but of course a deadly killer threatens their time together. Netflix, this looks interesting. It's a Netflix comedy special. Ellen DeGeneres for your approval. It's her final comedy special, it says. Also coming out in Video Demand and Digital, Night of the Harvest. And then we're going to start getting all the horror movies for Halloween. I'm excited. Years after a brutal attack, Madison is still grappling with the trauma of that night. Oh, Lord. Something bad's going to happen, isn't it? Yep. Festive atmosphere quickly turns deadly as a masked killer begins to hunt them down one by one. Coming out Thursday to Netflix, a new series, Nobody Wants This, starring Kristen Bell and Adam Brody. It says an unlikely pair, obstacles of love, life, blotty. Coming out on Friday in the theater, I'm excited for this next weekend, The Wild Robot, starring Lupita Nyong'o as the little robot, Roz, who gets stuck on a remote island. She begins helping all the animals. So it looks really cute. We saw the trailer for this one today also. The new movie Lee, starring Kate Winslet, about the life of war photographer Lee Miller. Megalopolis, also coming to theaters. This is a reimagining, or is it completely not even connected? Not even connected to the past Megalopolis.
No, the original is called Metropolis.
Oh.
And I thought it was connected.
Never mind.
We've been hearing about it, but it's apparently he loves the film, and there's some inspiration.
It looks like Adam Driver's doing something weird.
He's an architect of some sort.
But we're building the city of the future. But it all looks weird. Like you have to be a certain kind of person to get to that part of the. I don't know. It's what it looks like to me. Anyways, Shia LaBeouf, Aubrey Plaza, John Voight, everybody in the whole world, Lawrence Fishburne. I feel like I heard his voice in the trailer.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah. So who knows? Also in theaters, Notice to Quit. I don't know anything about this. Michael Zegan is Andy Singer, a resilient, struggling New York rental agent caught in the world of an eviction crisis, dealing with 10-year-old daughter. Appears an announcement on his doorstep, and they're getting thrown out of the apartment. Apple TV Plus. I'm excited about the new show, or the new movie, Wolves, with Brad Pitt and George Clooney. Wolves. Thank you, Wolves. It looks really good. I think it's going to be.
It's in the theater now. They did a short theater
run
of it.
Amber Alert, new movie. Hayden Panettiere. Have you been seeing the interviews with her recently? She's not completely well. I feel like people are commenting. It looks like she's on some sort of medication.
The problem is that everybody comments on everybody when they do
but
interviews.
if you look at her, she's not. She's slurring her words and everything.
Well,
so
and some of it could be.
She's on medication.
She could have been drinking. She could have been having a bad day. She could have been nervous. She could be sick. You don't know.
She sounded sick.
They did the same thing with Martin Lawrence. They said that there's something wrong with him. He had a stroke or this, and he came out. He's like, "I'm fine. What's wrong with you people?"
This is the big one that I want us to watch. The Netflix movie Will and Harper, starring Will Ferrell and his real life BFF Harper. This looks really good. We need to watch it. And coming to Paramount Plus, Apartment 7A. This is weird. So it's a dancer who's injured, but then randomly a wealthy couple's like, "That's okay. Come stay with us while you get back on your feet." But then one night there's a party and they don't really remember what happened. And so it gets them thinking like, oh my gosh, what is going on? And what am I really willing to do to get back on top? So we'll see. Netflix.
I'm assuming it's one of those people you like in it.
I have no idea. A True Gentleman. A Male Escort. That's all you need to tell me. I'm in.
Oh, scroll back up. What's that? I want to find out what that's playing. I didn't know that was coming out this week.
Coming out also on Netflix, Resball, Native American high school basketball team bands together to win the state championship. There's so many things happening this weekend. Hulu, new thing on Hulu, She Taught Love. Frank Cooper, actor, struggling, blah, blah, faces his own mortality and must learn to love and live in the moment. That's it. It's the end of the month, so like everything's getting crammed in here. Okay, that's all. Over to you, babe.
Nothing. I have nothing.
Yeah, you do. You got to tell me about the content. We have free stuff. Tell me about free stuff.
All right. Well, we got 2 of them are fixing to go away because I have 2 new contests, maybe 3 that's going to be going up probably the rest sometime before the end of the weekend, meaning by tomorrow. But we still have a couple copies of the animated Watchmen Chapter 1, Justice League Crisis Chapter 3, Horizon Chapter 1, Watchers, and a new one, Exhuma, which is like I think it's a murder mystery thriller, maybe supernatural Asian film. Some sort. So we'll talk about it eventually. But I have a couple other ones that are ready to launch. So if some of these will be dropping off, if you want to get a chance, you better get in there and enter it. If not, you're going to miss out and you'll have to wait for the next ones.
All right. That's it for now. We will talk to you soon.